Oh,
Hello, everybody. You are
hello,
welcome to the long awaited International
International Boys
Boys Conference
Conference
2024.
2024.
Wow. We are
Wow,
so excited. It's so good to
I'm
be
telling
here.
you.
We have been
I have
waiting,
been
and
waiting. Oh my God.
finally.
No, just like yesterday when we sat
Mhm.
here,
Yes,
we were talking about International Boys Conference 2023, and we are here
and we are
again.
here again. Wow. We are so pleased to be here and to
Amazing.
be connected to boys all over
All
the
over the
world.
world.
Yes, we want to say today, May 16th,
Oh
2024,
my
is
God.
for the boys.
Yes,
And we
we
say
the boys, we
together,
the boys.
Happy
International
International
Day
Day of
of
the
the
Boy
Boy
Child.
Child is
Wow.
our
Is
day.
your day. Is your day. And to every boy listening to
Oh
us,
my
if you're a
goodness.
girl or you're a parent and there's a boy around you, poke the boy
Yes.
and just say, congratulations.
Yes,
You are
congratulations.
amazing.
Oh
You are
yes. Oh
phenomenal.
yes.
We love you.
Oh
The
yes.
world is
Oh
waiting for
yes.
your
Oh yes.
manifestations. Congratulations to all the boys all
All
over
over
the
the
world. We are
world.
seated right here
Mhm.
because of you.
I'm
We have
telling
put this
you,
together
just for
because
the
of you. The
boys.
world will be watching this
Oh
because of you.
dear.
That tells you how much special you are.
Mhm.
Special.
We are so
We
special.
love you. We are proud of you.
Aww.
We are grateful to have you in the world. Imagine a
Absolutely.
world without boys.
Oh, oh,
Mm.
can say that again. Can
I'm
say
sure
that
it's
again.
going to really be
It's
boring.
gonna be boring.
A world where there's no
Like
boys.
who will be troubling you?
I
Who will
don't
be
get it.
pricking
I
you?
don't get
Who will
it.
be eating all the
I don't
food?
get
Who will be
it.
playing all the
I don't
games?
get
Who will
it.
be playing the football that will bring the world together?
I don't get
Oh
it.
my
So
God.
anybody complaining about the boys, you better stop
And
complaining.
that's it
You
up.
know why? Because your home, your society, the world without the boys, it will be empty.
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 Boring.
Boring. Not interesting at
Oh my
all.
God, I'm
So
so
we are
special.
giving it up for all
Oh
the
yeah,
boys
oh yeah,
all
oh
over the
yeah, oh
world.
yeah,
We
oh
are
yeah.
so glad that we have you. Welcome once
Absolutely.
again to the International Boys Conference 2024. We
2024.
open up now. The boys gathered all around.
Oh
We have
yes.
so much lined up for
Oh
you.
yes.
So much
A lot.
package
Like
for
this year
you.
is just
This year,
hot, hot.
phenomenal. This year, something else.
Oh yes.
This year, breathtaking. Just sit back like the king that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Get a glass of juice.
Mm-hmm.
Get your popcorn by your side.
Mm-hmm.
Get your
Ah,
notebook. Get
fun.
your pen and just have fun. Not just fun, but you're
Uh-huh.
going to get so much value that will
Interesting.
change your life
Yes.
and will give you an experience lasting for a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Our speakers are ready.
Yes. So they are
You
ready.
don't want to know.
They are
Our
ready.
speakers are ready. If you go on all our handles on social media,
Yeah.
you will see our speakers are on fire.
On fire.
Back to back to back to back. They are ready for the boys.
Oh yes.
I was saying something today, Coach
Mhm.
Ebuka. I was particularly excited that the internet space was just buzzing today.
As in buzzing, everybody,
Everybody was talking
everywhere.
about the
One
boys.
day of the boy child.
Boys, did you know last year
Hey,
we didn't have this?
I'm
It
telling
wasn't this much.
you,
Everybody's talking about the boys, talking
everybody's
about how special you
talking.
are.
Oh my
I think
God.
you should give yourself a hug as a boy. Let's watch Coach Ebuka give himself a hug. All right.
Kiss your brain.
Thank you. Kiss your brain, like we say to the boys. If you're just joining us, once again, you're welcome. This is the International Boys Conference 2024. Sitting right here with you are the most amazing,
Mm,
phenomenal,
mhm,
famous,
mhm,
one and
mhm.
only
One and only.
duo
Uh-huh,
known
uh-huh,
as
uh-huh.
the king
The king
of boys
of boys.
and the queen
Uh-huh.
of boys.
World best.
My name is Coach Ruth, also known as the Queen of Boys.
Oh,
And
yes.
right here with me is
The king of boys. Coach
himself,
Ebuka, one and only.
one and only.
Undefeated.
Any other king of boys,
Hmm.
any other Coach Ebuka, let's
He's a
not talk about
counterfeit.
it. All right, you're most
Oh
welcome.
my
We are
goodness.
so excited to have the boys all over the world.
Absolutely. You know, this year is just so interesting because it's our fifth year hosting this conference. We've been hosting it
We
every
deserve
year
a
back
round
to
of
back
applause.
for 5 years.
5 years.
Oh my God. And we have seen
Amazing.
this grow. We have seen life transform. We have seen boys come to the knowledge of truth. We have seen boys, lives transform, and that is super amazing. I
Yes,
remember when
it
we
is.
started, during the COVID, COVID,
It looks like it won't
it
work.
looked like we work, but see where we are today.
See where
Boys
we are.
gathered from all over the world.
Mm,
So let's see the chat room and let's see boys. So go to the chat room and tell us where you are joining us from as we celebrate you saying happy birthday of the boy child. So go to the chat room and tell us where you're joining us from. Tell us your name and where you're joining us from. Have boys joining from different countries all over the world,
all
and we
over the
can't
world.
wait to hear
Oh
from
yeah.
you. All right. I love better say, Chibuka, but those who are not in Abuja will not be at the physical event on
Don't
Saturday. Don't
worry.
worry.
Don't
Very soon we'll
worry.
be having delegates from all over the world coming for International Boys Conference. I'll be able to host. So I'm waiting to see your charts on the screen. We'll be waiting to host a lot of you at International Boys Conference from everywhere, from everywhere. Last year we had boys joining from over 30 countries, around the world, and it was really, really interesting. Okay, so you can see the chat room, all right, where they are chatting. Is that okay? You can see Barbara from the UK and have
Welcome,
people
Barbara.
joining. All right, welcome, Barbara, and everyone joining us from all over the world. We are super happy and excited to see you all. Makinde, we can see you from
Hi,
Lagos.
Makinde. We see
Hi, we
you.
say welcome, welcome, welcome. We are super, super excited to
Yeah.
see everyone. Okay, we can see
Wow.
you
So
all.
many people in
Yes,
the
Coach Ruth
room.
can read some of them.
Wow, you're welcome. We can see Titilayo from where's that? And
Yes, we can. That's
we
fine.
can see you, Gloria from Lagos, Gabriel from the England. We can see you, Shay from Kaduna.
Wow.
Ifoma, we can see you. Hello to you too. Asinedu Olariwaju, hello, ma'am. We
Lagos.
can see you, President
Oh my
from
God.
Lagos. We can see Gabriel from the UK. Hi,
Mhm.
Lillian. We can see Dayo from Ibadan.
Oh my
Pete
God.
Kelechi from Kanu.
Kanu.
You are
Wow.
welcome. We are so
Welcome. We are
happy to see you.
super
Hi,
excited to see
Miguel from
you.
Port Harcourt.
Oh
We see you, Chia from
wow.
Lagos, Precious from the UK, Olubumi from Canada.
Daniel from the UK, yeah.
Wow,
Oh my
Daniel from the
goodness.
UK, you're welcome.
Obomosho.
Cheta from Abuja.
Oh
Hello,
my
Cheta.
goodness.
Titi Layo,
Oh,
welcome. Precious, welcome. You
welcome.
are in August camp. Good to
Yes,
see you
you can see
again.
you all.
Uchenna
Interesting.
Eta, welcome. That's Sean from Abuja. Welcome.
Amazing.
We are
Thank
so happy
you.
to
We are
see you.
super
Thank
excited.
you for
Oh
joining
my
us.
goodness.
Thank you
Oh
for
my
taking all the time
goodness.
here.
Oh my
We really do
goodness.
appreciate it. We
Oh
don't take
my
it for
goodness.
granted. We love
We
you.
love
Yes, you.
you.
Yes,
Iremi
you.
Day, we
Yes,
love
we
you.
love you. Thank you.
Richardson, we can see you.
Richardson,
Ethan,
welcome.
we can see
Halita
you.
from Bauchi,
Oh my
welcome.
God, we can see
Welcome,
you all.
welcome.
Oh my. Okay, he said my name is Aholia, not
Aholia,
Sarah Job.
sorry, please.
Sorry.
You are
We are
welcome.
welcome. We
Please.
can see you.
Thank you,
Thank
boys, for
you,
joining.
Steven. We can see you.
We can see you. Oh,
Interesting.
thank
A lot of people I
you.
saw some from Canada. Only a lot of our friends in US are in school and Canada.
Yeah.
Australia, your timing may not allow you to join. We apologize, but you can always come back to watch the replay.
Yes, you
All
can.
right.
You are
Welcome.
welcome,
You're
everybody.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
coming.
You're
Once
welcome.
again, if you have a boy sitting right beside you,
Mm-hmm.
look at him. That's like I'm going to look at
Oh, yeah.
Chibuka. Give him a smile
Uh-huh.
and say, Happy International Day of the Boy
Oh,
Child.
happy International Day of the Boy
We are
Child.
so proud
We are
of all
super
our boys.
excited.
We
Yes,
are so proud of
yes.
you.
I think parents need to share this link.
Yes.
Yes, everybody. We want every boy to be here.
Mhm.
If you know any parent or boy, anybody that needs to benefit from this, please share this link. We can't be here and the wrong things are going viral.
Mm.
We have a lot of parents that need to be part of. Please share this link.
Share.
Share.
Hit the
Make
share
sure you
button.
bring back
Share.
one person, two parents, five parents, 10 parents. We
Mhm.
can work together to achieve the change we want to
Mhm.
see. Boys, you know your friends in school. Tell mommies and daddies to share with your friends, with your teacher, with your school authority to share in their parents' platform. The wrong thing can be going viral. We must also make sure the right
Must
thing works.
also make sure
So
the
before I
right
go to the
thing
lesson,
works.
coach, what are you giving me? What is my gift for word of the boy child?
Parents, answer your voice. What's
What is
their
my
gift?
gift? My own gift. Oh.
We are going to
Coach
give you
Ruth, what
value.
is my gift?
Otebuka will give you value.
Value. Me, I want value and I still want pizza. Oh.
Don't worry. Pizza.
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 I
thought
want
these
my
girls that
own.
like
I want
pizza.
my PS4.
Yes.
Yes.
Only.
Yes, I want a trip to Dubai.
Coach Ebuka, done. It's your
Okay.
day, boys. Make any wish.
Please, this year
It's
should not
granted.
end though until
Done.
our wish is done.
Done.
Interesting.
Welcome once again,
All
everybody. We are
right.
super excited to have you. So, we are just going to go straight to the program proper. I know you can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Our speakers today,
Ah,
exceptional.
they're waiting.
I'm going to give you a tag
Hmm.
for every speaker.
Mm-hmm.
For today, they are exceptional
Hmm.
and they are not the usual.
Yes, so.
If you have been used to hearing people,
Hmm.
the people you're going to hear today are exceptional
Mm-hmm.
and unusual.
Oh, yes.
Unusual for the positive. So you're going to be hearing them. Don't worry, I'm not going to take your time. But before we listen to our speakers, and make sure your notebooks are ready. This is especially for the boys today and the parents. So please make sure your notebooks are ready and you're ready to take value. We're going to listen to a story. So we have been on this journey for a very long time. Save the Boys Initiative has been in existence for a very long time. And by the grace of God, we have related with several boys
Mm-hmm.
and we've been able to impact several boys with what we are doing. We've been able to give them the good news of what we are doing. And we have several of them who would like to share their stories. They want to share their stories with all the boys all over the world. They want you to know that whatever you're going through, they are either going through it or have gone through it.
Mm.
And so they are the perfect spokesmen for you today. So you're going to be listening to the impact story of some boys. Please, it is not a session to take lightly. You will hear one or two things that you will need for your life and for your future in the days to come. If the media team are ready with the impact story, we would have that take on right now.
Impact.
Hello, my name is Miracle Chuku. Growing up, I had a lot of issues as a young boy. I had serious relationship issues with my father, which affected my relationship with my siblings. And this led me into seeking for comfort outside my house. So I would always go out of the house and move around with friends because I didn't want to face that war zone I called a house. I started following bad friends at a very young age, and it led into different vices. My reformation story started in 2019. At that stage of my life, I was suicidal. I wanted to end it all because I felt life had no meaning, because nothing was working. I was stagnant and life just did not have any meaning. I was contemplating suicide. Two of my friends found out about these decisions, and a friend asked me to go to Facebook and search for the name Ebuka Ede Obika and send him a DM, which I did, and we started talking online. And for the first time in my life, I felt loved, I felt accepted with all my baggages, with all my bad characters and all my issues. So for the first time, he invited me to his house for a meeting, a gathering of his mentees. I came into the place and I was inspired. I saw a community of boys who had issues, who had struggles, but yet in that struggle, they were in a fight, in a journey to become better. And I was inspired not to give up. And I kept on that journey. I kept pushing, and I kept pushing. Save the Boys Initiative has shaped my life and my personality. I am no longer the person I used to be. I am now a better version of myself. People who knew me back then see me today and they are shocked at the level of growth, improvement, and value I have added to myself. And all this were through Save the Boys Initiative. Save the Boys Initiative is a community where boys are taught responsibility, leadership, through a system of accountability. It's a place for any boy who wants to become a productive man. Now I am in 200 level studying psychology in Nassau State University. By the grace of God, I am a first-class student, and it is because of the values that I have learned and the lessons I have learned from Save the Boys Initiative. So I urge every boy out there listening. Your case might be more deeper or more stronger, or you might have experienced more hurt than I have. But if Save the Boys Initiative was able to do it for me, it can do it for you. So stay connected, stay accountable, and your life will never remain the same. Thank you.
Welcome once again. I hope you got something from that impact story. That's a young man who has worked with us closely for a while now. And I can tell you that we can touch the practicality of responsibility in the life of that boy. This is to say to every boy, there is hope. Whatever name they have labeled you, with responsibility, you can turn things around. Okay, so we are going to go straight away into our first talk for today. And we are going to be having the founder of Save the Boys Initiative. Of course, today is for the boys, and he will start off by saying something to the boys, and he'll be taking a topic, the reformed boy. Remember that the theme for International Boys Conference 2024 is reformation. So he's going to be telling us what we need to know about reformation. Coach Ebuka teaches in a humorous, practical, and very interesting manner. You don't want to miss it. Sit back and enjoy what he has for you today.
Ebuka Obika Ede is into boys development and youth mentoring. He does this through mentoring, coaching, and training them in life, leadership, and purpose, also by acting as a parent partner. He sees to the total development of boys and advocates for their well-being. He has certificates in emotional intelligence, teens mentoring, and organizational leadership. He is a graduate of sociology with MSc in organizational leadership. He also has certificates in non-profit leadership management course from the Lagos Business School. For over a decade, he has taught boys, teenagers, and youth in unique, practical, and humorous ways to learn personal responsibility, breaking and overcoming addictions, and leadership. As a way of sharing his feedback from his experience, he convenes with his wife the Boys Leadership Academy, Mentoring Clubs for Boys, Project Reformation for Boys, and also convenes the annual International Boys Conference as a platform to train boys and men on how to live positive and productive lives. He is also the co-author of The Journey into Manhood, Puberty in Boys, Compendium for Boys, Body Safety for Boys, Purity Code for Boys, King's Meal for Boys, Journals for Boys, and Energy and Tantrum Control for Boys. They are all great resources for boys and young men. Ebuka is happily married to his partner, Ruth, and their union of 7 years is blessed with 2 biological daughters and many foster sons. Ebuka Ede, now speaking.
Thank you so much. That was super amazing, and I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, media team. Thank you so much, Coach Ruth. I don't take it for granted. And thank you to my boys from all over the world. How are we doing? It's our day, right? Let's go to church and tell me what mommy and daddy has made for you today. What have they made for you today? What have they given you today on your special day? Tell them, Coach Ebuka say, mommy, that is our day. All right, it's our day, International Day of the Boy Child. Somebody go to chat and tell me what have they done. All right, how many of you have gotten a pizza, a gift, a warm embrace, beautiful words today? All right, I can see your chat. Thank you. I can see your chat. You can scroll down to the chats. All right, I can see that beautiful. Oh, mommy, daddy, we appreciate you for your love, for loving us the way you. Someone said nothing. Okay. Pizza. Okay. Don't worry. They're going to do something. Not yet. Okay. I'm sure mommy and daddy are getting ready. They're getting ready. And we are going to have a great time together. Not popcorn. Somebody got popcorn. I have got to wash plate. You don't want to wash plate on your day. We must wash plate now. It's part of the discipline that makes us to grow. I can see a lot of people say chicken pop off rice, stew with fish. Some people are even saying, I don't even know today is boys' day. That's why we're here for you today to let you know that we love you, we value you, and you are the best. So I'm sending you hugs. I'm sending you love. I'm saying I love you. I'm proud of you. So let's go to the chat room and let's celebrate ourselves, our boys. Say, brother, I love you. Brother, you are the best. Brother, you're a king. Let's go to the chat room and celebrate ourselves as kings. Come on. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. Celebrate yourself as kings. Celebrate yourself. Thank you. I can't see you saying that in the chat room. Go and tell a brother, well done. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I can see all of that. Bro, you're a king. Thank you. Some of you are telling your parents' names, so I don't know who is chanting. All right, thank you. I can see you. Oh my God. Thank you. I love you. I like that from Amara. Oh, bro, you're a king. I love that. Thank you, my dear. I love you. Well done. We must learn to appreciate ourselves as boys and young men. We must learn to celebrate ourselves. Okay. And today, what is our theme for the conference? Reformation. Thank you, everyone. I can see you. Go to the chat room now. Let me hear you say reformation. Let me see reformation in the chat room. Reformation in the chat room. Everybody, let's go. Reformation, reformation, reformation. I am a king. Reformation. Let me hear you say that. I celebrate you all. Yes, I can see you saying that. Reformation. I am a king. I am reformed. Yes, let's see that. We are the presidents. We are the governors. We are the great scientists. We are the world best doctors. I know you love this one. The world best footballers. I am reformed. I am a king. Who are you? Let me hear you. Let me see that in the chat room. You are reformed. You are a king. The world is counting on you. Somebody told me a few months ago that Coach Ebuka, your mentee will fly you very soon. Oh, I can't wait for that day where I'll be flown by my mentee, where you'll be the best pilot in the world, and you'll be flying me. And from the cockpit, you'll be announcing that I'm carrying my coach here, Coach Ebuka. That will be super amazing. That is what we want for you, young men. And that is why we are here. Some people say, people don't talk to boys. We are just on our own. People don't care about us. Mummies don't care. Daddies don't care. That is why we are here. And I'm starting with the topic, the reformed boy. Oh, and by the way, I have my king's daughter here. If you're in the academy, you will know that we are kings and we have a king's daughter. And I have my own. I am a king. All right? And our topic is the reformed boy. Get your daughter, get your pen, and let's write. Some people say boys are very stubborn. They are violent. They don't listen. They don't write. Oh, they don't even care. When you're talking, they don't listen. They don't do anything. Are we like that? No. Let's prove to the world that we are kings. So now the chat room will be reduced while you focus on writing. Let's show the world that as kings, we are people of excellence. We listen, we pay attention, we write, and we make the difference. I am reformed, and our topic is the reform boy. I'll start by telling you a story. Yes, I like that. Say, no, they are attentive. Boys are attentive. Let's prove that. I want to tell you a story. Some few years ago, one boy invited me to speak in a program somewhere around the world. Guess what happened? I've shared this story with some of my mentees. Now listen. When I got to the airport, they sent a driver. Okay, I want to speak in the program. And they sent a driver to pick me up at the airport. And the driver was looking quite old. He was looking like somebody that, is struggling. He wasn't looking happy, like somebody that has an issue. I know it was quite elderly. And I respect and honor people a lot. Guess what? I greeted him warmly. I said, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for coming to follow my story. Thank you for coming to pick me at the airport. I'm so happy. God bless you. And in my mind, I thought, oh, since this one is elderly and he has helped me, when I'm going, I'm going to give him something to say thank you. But while the man was driving me to the location, He turned and looked at me and he said to me, "Your face looks familiar." Familiar? I said, "I don't know you, sir. Your face don't look familiar. I don't think I've seen you anywhere." He said, "Your face looks familiar." Listen, everybody. I was wondering where this elderly man met Kochebuka. Hey, God. I was really wondering and I was troubled. So he was like, we kept saying, we dropped somewhere to get something. He said, "Your face looks familiar. I know this face." He now asked me my name. I told him my full name. By the time I mentioned my son name, he said, "Yes, his son name." He said, "I went to school with your uncle in 1982. How many of you here were born in 1982? All right. So let's pay attention. Make sure you're writing. Make sure you're writing. He said, "I went to school with your uncle in 1982. What? He described that my uncle to me. I know him. And my uncle is too, also quite elderly and he's in the US. Doing very well. He's at the peak of his career. Doing very well, excellently well in the US, where he's practicing in his field of study." Oh, I said, "Yes, so that he went to the same school with my uncle in 1982. Do you know what I was thinking all through the nights? I was thinking about this man when I went to sleep. I said, "How come your classmates that you went to school with in 1982, this man was almost after 40 years. I said, how come after over 40 years?" I was just lost in thoughts. Your classmate is doing excellently well, but you are the face of your life where you are struggling. So I was thinking all through the night, why is this man struggling? Is there something he didn't do well? Why is he doing well? And he's looking so troubled, worried, and even looking tattered. Is there a problem? I was wondering. I was lost in thought all through the night. And that is where I'm starting my conversation from. To let you know that as a boy, you're a product of your choices. Pastor Osiri said in last year's conference that when you are born, you look like your parents. But when you are old and die, you look like the choices that you made. So many people are where they are today in life because of the choices they made as a young boy. Any prisoner you see today in the prison, any drug addict you see, any fraudulent person you see, they are products of their choices. And also ask you as a young boy, some of you are still even playing and chatting even as we are speaking. It shows you don't understand the template of kinship. What choices are you making? What choices are you making to make your life better? A lot of boys today are products of their choices. We see some boys today, they literally look and talk like cartoons. Social skill is a problem. Communication is a problem. Academic is a problem. Character is a problem. You look at the world today and you go to the prisons, they are filled with men. You go to drug rehabilitation home, they are filled with men. These men, we are people who made choices when they were young. And where they are today is as a result of the choices they made. And when some of them were young as boys, they'll be telling them, read your book, be disciplined, pay attention. The way we're telling some of you here now, be a good boy. Hey, they'll be laughing. You are too serious. Mommy just like me, read every time. And is it by force? These things, they are saying this thing for in 10 years, in 20 years, when your mates will meet you, just like I met my uncle's mate after over 40 years. He was a product of his choice. When we see you after 20 years, you be a product of the crisis you make today. Look at what is happening around the world. All manner of sexual distortion, all manner of terrible things in the media, even in the government. We are struggling to have the right leaders. Because a lot of them made the wrong choices when they were boys. If you are not intentional, young boy, listening to me at 7, at 14, at 17, if you're not careful of the choices you make today, tomorrow will keep repeating the same vicious cycle of brokenness. Even some women today are afraid of getting married because they say the men they are seeing are wife beaters, violent people. Some of you listening to me are not happy with the kind of fathers you have. Will you make the same mistake? Are you rising to change and bring about the difference? We are suffering today because of the policies and choices of some of our leaders in government. If you don't make the right choice, young man, your generation to come will still suffer the same thing. You are a product of your choice. What choices are you making? When boys are at the peak of pornography and all manner of dirty cartoons and videos at this time, watching in secret, doing things that parents say they shouldn't do, what will become of your life in the next 30 years? It's as a result of these choices you are making today. Those of you in Nigeria, a few days ago, the JAM result came out, UTME, University Matriculation Tertiary Examination. And it was alarming with it was a mass failure. Only few percent crossed 200. An exam that is over 400. If we can't, you know what happened? Those boys who scored below was a product of that choice. Because we had boys who scored over 200, over 300. Because preparation met them at the exam hall. Are we wasting as young men? Everything they're 8 years old, they can achieve great dream. You can't bring about global transformation. You can. I saw a news yesterday, 2 days ago, of the youngest pastor in the world. I think it's about 9. Just look at such where the world knew you as the youngest boy with the biggest fraudulent act. How many $1 billion this scam? Is that what we are looking for? We need boys that will rise. We need boys that will stand up and go to the media and correct the rubbish going on. We need boys that will stand up and go to the world and correct the sexuality discussion going on. If we keep playing and wasting, how do we make the change in the world? Kings arise. I am a reformed man. You are a reformed boy. Because the transformation we are talking about is only those that are reformed in their mind that can go through that transformation. Who are you, young man? Wake up. And in this session, I'll be talking about 5 characteristics of a reformed boy. How do you know a reformed boy? What are the 5 ways? What are the 5 things you want to begin to see in your life from this meeting? I want boys that will stand up from this meeting and say, at the end of this session, I'm coming out as the best in my school. At the end of this year, I'm coming out with my own book. At the end of this year, I'm coming out with my own innovation. We need young men that will help us. Look at the rate of pornography among boys. It's alarming. Who are the boys that wake up to produce the apps that will keep young men safe on the internet? We are waiting for you. Stop wasting. The world is waiting for you, young man. If the honest of leadership that you carry is destroyed, what will befall us as a people? You are the one that will lead your family, lead as a husband, as a father. If you don't get it right at 10, you can't get it right at 30. It is time for us young men to stand up. You can see now, before now, how many people know about the word of the boy child? But we are pushing, we are strategizing, we are making it loud everywhere to celebrate you. You will be a waste. Or you say this celebration will not be a waste. I'm going to rise up and I will make the change in my class. I go to some schools. Let me tell you, as I'm praying for this person, I went around over 50 schools. You'll be shocked at what you're hearing. Negative reports about boys. Some schools, you can count a handful of boys in class. They are not interested. They don't want to learn. They are not pushing academically. I went to a particular school and they told me that the top 10 are girls. That before any boy comes here, maybe from 11, 12, top 10. What are you doing? We are playing. We are watching cartoons. We are on games instead of making global impacts. a product of your choices. How do we know a reform boy? Number one, go to the chat room and tell me, Coach, I'm a reform boy. I am a king. I'm rising. Go to the chat room. Let me see. Somebody said I have a poem published by the UK. That is what I want to hear. One leaders in school. I'm rising. I'm rising. Some people will ask me in the chat room, how many hours is this program? But if some of you will stay for 5 hours non-stop, you need to change your mindset. We are here for reformation. We are here for transformation. And it's not time for joke. It's a time to begin to make a change. Go to the chat room and tell me, I am rising. I am a king. I'm bringing about great transformation. Let me see you. I am that king. I am saying no to distraction. I am building my life. I'm going to make a change. I'm seeing you. I'm God's general. Thank you, Enoch. Whoa. How do you know you're a reform boy? Number one. Oh, yeah, let's write. Reform boys are boys with vision. Yeah, I told you that you're a king. But you know, your royalty as a king is at the mercy of your vision. If you can't see far, you can't do anything. Because where you see yourself as a boy determines where you find yourself. Some of you are still seeing yourself as just an 8-year-old boy that can't do anything. You can't think. See the future. See yourself as the president of your nation. See yourself as a general in your nation. See yourself, excuse me, as the best scientist that your world is looking for. Where you see yourself is where you find yourself. If you can't see it as a boy, you can't get there. I'm tired of seeing boys, excuse me, who lack understanding of the future, who don't have vision, who can't see afar. All they are thinking about what I can eat now. Yeah, what we can do, the game we can play now, the cartoon we can just watch, the movie we should watch now. They're not seeing tomorrow. If you don't understand the mentality of a king, you can't live like that. Yes, I'm talking about vision because I want boys that will begin to go to the chat room and type vision. Vision. Let me see that in the chat room. Vision. Vision. Reform boys are boys with vision. Where you see yourself determine where you find yourself. Anything you don't see coming can't come to you as a boy. You hear me saying I'm the world best coach. I'm going to make global impact. I'm seeing it. I'm working. A few years ago, before I even started, I saw myself speaking to boys all over the world. Today is happening. What are you seeing? Because I see myself as an international world, renowned veterinarian. That's what I want to see. What do you see about yourself? Go to the chat room, everybody. Go to the chat room and tell me, what do you see about yourself? What do you see about yourself? Go and tell me as the world. Where are the best teachers? Where are the renowned doctors? Where is the best doctor in the world? Where is the best engineer? Who is seeing tomorrow? Tell me where you see yourself. Who is that pilot that will fly me? Let me see you in the chat room. Tell me. I have vision. This is where I'm seeing myself. I see myself as a doctor helping people, as the world's best software engineer. Wow. The best pilot. You must see it, young man. Yes. Yes, let me see you. If you can see it, nothing can stop it. I see myself helping ill people as a doctor. I see myself as a CNN journalist. Yes, I'm the best inventor and a philanthropist. I see myself as a pastor, as the world's best software engineer, as the best engineer in the world, as the best doctor. I've not seen teachers, though. I've not seen coaches, though. You don't have to be a coach. You don't have to be a coach like Coach Ebuka. I see myself as a reverend father. Oh, I love that. Young man, if you don't see it, you can't have it. I'm seeing yourself as a baby. Some of you are still babies at home. You feel like mommy should carry you. No strength. No inner strength. Some of you are so weak. Any small thing, you are crying. They rebuke you, you are crying. They say, go and wash plates, you are crying. No strength. What do you see? I see an army of boys rising and will challenge darkness. Who are those that will challenge darkness? Are you going to continue seeing people put terrible things on social media? Who are those that will challenge it? It is you. It is you. A reformed boy is a boy that has vision. What are you seeing, young man? We can't continue to be in the prison. We have to rescue marriages in our time. Are you seeing yourself as a loving father in the future? When you are beating your sister today, beating your brother, fighting in school, how can you be that loving father? If you see it, you will act it. You act it. Yes. If you are still fighting in school, throwing tantrum, scattering everywhere, how can you be that loving father? How can you be that loving husband? You are not seeing it. That's why you are not living it. If you can see it, you can live it. Young man, wake up! Because your royalty is at the mercy of your vision. Your royalty is dependent on how far you can see. Your place as a king is hinged on how far you can see as a boy. What is the second thing you need as a boy? Let's go. Reform boys are boys with the royal mentality. Hey! They are boys with the royal mentality. How many of you have seen the president of your country fighting on the street, boxing? Some of you are in London. Have you seen the king fighting on the street, boxing, tearing his clothes, scattering people? You can't see that because there's a template for kings. There's a way kings behave. You know why they lure you to doing some bad things in school? You don't know you're a king. I know I'm a king, oh. I can't go to every party. You don't know you're a king. That's why you play worldly music that are dirty and dance to them. You don't understand you're a king. That's why you watch cartoon behind closed doors and they're showing people's naked body. You don't understand you're a king. That's why your parents will say, drop the tab and go and lie down. You go under your duvet and still keep watching it. You don't have the mentality of a royal boy. We need boys with such mentality. Hey, because your mindset determines your outcome. If you have the wrong mindset, you're going to have the wrong outcome. Because what you put into the computer is what you bring out of it. What you drink is what you bring out. What you inhale is what you exhale. What is your mindset? Mentality affects your reality in life. I think people begin to change their mindsets. They'll begin to think like a king. Go to chat and tell me I'm a king. See, then your school, they should be calling your parents to say, why is Joshua different? Why is Daniel different? He doesn't fight. He's so calm. He's so ugly. He's so organized. It's your mindset. Because there's something in you that's telling you that I am a king. I am royal. When you know your makeup as a boy, something wakes up in you that challenges the way you live. You see why you're still fighting your sister? You understand that kings are not rude and arrogant people. You don't understand that kings are not violent people. Kings are cautious. Kings are loving. Kings show empathy. Kings are responsible. You want to rule a domain and you are lazy? You must understand that. There's a level of mentality you must carry as a boy to reach the level that you desire. You can't get there. It's not that by just saying I'm the best doctor. You behave like one. Some of you will finish this meeting and go and apologize to your sister. To go apologize to your mother and say, today is the last day. I will stop behaving like a king. I am now a king. Put it in your house. Let everybody know about it. Because you have the right mentality. Because the right understanding in life is what brings about an outstanding boy. If you don't have the right understanding, I think you can't be outstanding. What makes the difference is the lights that you've got. You understand? When I was in secondary school as a boy, I told myself, I can't write this major exam twice. I can't repeat a class. I'm a king, I'm royal. My name will be heard all over the world. I want to tell my boys, my children, that I am a light. Who are you? Understanding determines how outstanding you will be in school. Because the people that do know their God, they will be strong and do exploits. If you know nothing, do nothing. If you live your life by chance, you have no chance in life. Wake up! Let me tell you something. You know that the lion is not the king of the jungle by size. Do you know? Is it the biggest animal? Go to the chat room now. Is the lion the biggest animal? So why is he the king? Is the lion the biggest animal? Why is the lion the king? Tell me. Tell me in the chat room. Who can tell me? Give me the answer. The lion is not the biggest animal, yet it's the king of the jungle. Why? Hey! Why? Who knows? Who knows? He's a king by sense and not by size. You're a king by sense and not by size. You know the lion is not the biggest animal in the jungle, but yet he's the king of the jungle. Because something in him tells him you are the lion. You are the king of the jungle. There's no one as big as you here. There's no one as great as you. So when they give birth, they keep indoctrinating. Your children, they give birth to that. Yes, you are the king of the jungle. You take over. You rule. You are in charge. It's the mentality they indoctrinate them with. Because it's not because he's brave. It's because he's wise. He took that position by mindset. Is it the biggest boy in your class that is the first position? No. Is it the tallest boy in your class that is the first position? No. Is it the fair boy in your class that is not by color? It's not by size. It's mindset. Who are you? Where are the lions that are waking up here? Go to the chat room. Who is that lion waking up and say, enough, enough, enough? I am taking charge by my mindset. I know who I am. I know my authority. I know my dominion. I know my position. What? Go to the chat room. Let me see you. The lion is not the king by size. It's by size. It's by mentality. The king. Oh, you know what I want to tell you. You're a product of what you eat too. That is why you see the difference between the eagle and the vulture. Oh, the eagle feeds fresh meat. Why vultures feed on dead things, on kaka? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? You're a product of your choices. You're a product of your decisions. You're a product of your mindset. Who are you? Go to the chat room. Who is that lion that's waking up? Who is that eagle that is soaring? Go to the chat room and tell me I am bold as a lion. I am that eagle. I'm sorry. I will not be limited by my size. I will not be limited by my color. I will not be limited by my religion. I will not be limited by my age. Like the lion in the jungle, I am the strongest. I am the wisest. I am the brave one. It's your mentality. Kings rise up. Enough of mediocrity. Number 3, who is the reform boy? Look at it. He's a boy with excellence. Let me tell you, we are building you to take over. Yes. So you can't be a non-entity. You can't be a mediocre. When you are failing, you are destroying our plan. We want you in government. You need the right certificate. We want you at the seat of power. We want you to be the best engineer and produce the right games. Look at games today, killing young boys in pornography, all manner of things. How will make the right game? It's you, but you don't have sense. You can't make it. Excellence. Excellence. Mediocrity will only put you in obscurity as a boy. Mediocrity will only put you as a non-entity as a boy. Nobody, your voice cannot be heard. Will you employ somebody who can read and write? Will you employ somebody who don't have skills? No. Will you give somebody who don't know about anything in charge of your house? No. That's what some of us are Christian. That's why Joseph was put in charge in Egypt. There was something Joseph knew that other people didn't know. Wake up! When we say read, read. Who will take over the government? Who? A boy that doesn't like school? How do you become the best pilot? You want to fly me? If you're not excellent, you will crash destinies if you lack understanding. A boy with excellence is what we are looking for. Some of you, stop blaming the devil for your failure. No, you didn't work hard. And I'll come to that. Some boys think excellence is costly. Hey, you have to read. You have to do this. But if you don't have certain skills, you can't do anything. You can't swim. You can't even design anything. You can't use correct draw. You can't type. You can't cook. How do we fly like that? How? Wake up, young men. Enough of games. Enough. You think excellence is costly? Oh, you think excellence is costly? You've not seen the cost of mediocrity. When you see the cost of mediocrity, you will know that excellence is not even costly. When you see the ripple effect of lack of understanding, you will know that excellence is key. When you think that excellence is costly, go and see the ripple effect of ignorance. Wake up! Why will you not be the best in your class? Why? Why will you not take all the awards? Why? Why can't it be you? Why can't it be you? We need boys that will change the things. We are raising you that in the next 20 years, we are taking over. How many of us say no to darkness? How will your children be raised in this kind of evil world? How? If you don't rise up to make a difference. You will make that change. You are the one that will destroy the altars, the mountains of pornography. It is you that will destroy that mountain of gaming that's destroying people. It is you. It is you that will destroy the mountain of LGBT, all manner of sexual destruction. It is you that will come up and challenge it. We need you to have sex. We need you to be intelligent. We need you to have a voice. Excellence. The fourth thing, we need reform boys are boys with strong and determinant spirits. You didn't fail because the devil is after you. Some of you failed because you can't fight to win. You are too weak. Reformation is not for weak people. Go to the church and say it. Reformation is not for weak people. Somebody said the girls are not backing down. I like that, and that's the truth. They are becoming resilient. You think I will raise my daughter to marry a boy who is a non-entity, who cannot stand excellence, who don't have a voice? You want to be a servant? Oh, we need you in the palace as a king. Go there and tell me. Reformation is not for the weak. Yes. Oh, reformation is not for the weak. But boys with strong and determinant spirit. Oh, we need boys with strong. Stop backing out on failure. Why? You fail 7 times, you stand up the 8th. Because failure is not a person. It's not. You're not created to be a person. You're not. Nobody is called a failure. It's not a person. It's nobody's name. It's a decision you choose. Rise up. Sophia, and mommy's boy, so weak. Cook, you can't cook. Clean, you can't clean. Read, you can't read. How do we take over? As I round up. How do we take over? Oh, yes. And the last thing I want to talk about. Reform boys are boys with character. The last point, reform boys are boys with character. Reform boys are boys with character. And that's where we are closing. How is your character? How is your life when nobody's watching? Who are you when nobody is seeing you, young man? Behind closed doors? When mommy and daddy are not around? What is your character? That's what differentiates the eagle from the vulture. What you eat is what you become. What you feed on is what your life look like. Some boys don't have boundaries. All manner of sexual distortion today are boys. Some boys don't have respect, no honor. You can't greet elders, no character. Some boys fight everybody, even if fight their parents, walk out on their parents, slam the door. You don't have character. Reformation are not for boys without character. What would you say about you in your school? A king, a boy with understanding, and one when they hear say, David, that troublemaker. What would they say about you? How many of you are waking up? Go to the chat room. How many of you are saying, Coach, thank you, enough is enough? We are waking up. How many of you are saying that? We are waking up. We are waking up. We are waking up. How many of you are saying that? We are waking up. We are waking up. We are waking up. Enough is enough. We are standing up to make a difference. How many of you are waking up? How many of you are standing up to show? How many of you are saying, I am wise? Go to the chat room and let me know. What have you learned today? What are you going to do differently? I've showed you the futures. How will some boys live? How many of you will become that in the next 10 years when we come back? We can give other boys to you to mentor them. How many of you are waking up? Let me see you in the chat room. Enough is enough. Thank you. We are waking up. Oh, thank you. Someone say a lion is killed by royalty. And I know who I am. We are making up. We're waking up to make it. I'm waking up. Go to the chat room. Somebody say, I want to sleep. You're not ready for information. It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. Less than 30 minutes, you want to sleep. Information is not for the weak. Wake up, boy, and don't be weak. We are soldiers. Soldiers are not weak people in battlefront. Wake up and don't be weak. I am waking up. Tell me what you've learned from this class. I want to see you in the chat room. What are the 5 things we said? What did you learn? Which one makes a lot of sense to you? I am rising up. I am making a difference. That is who I am. Let me see you. I've said those 5 things. Yes, let me see that as we close and take the next thing. Oh, don't forget, you're a product of your choice. You look like your parents are bets, but when you're old and die, you look like your decision. We've talked about 5 ways, 5 things you must see in your life as a reform boy. I would say reform boys are boys with vision. Secondly, they are boys with the royal mindset, royal mentality. They are boys with excellence. They are boys with strong and determinant spirit. And they are boys with character. How many of you will I get good report from your school? The best behaved in your class. Who are you? That is what I want to see. What have you learned? Thank you. Reformation is not for the weak. Let me see your lesson. I'm a boy with vision. Enough is enough. I'm waking up. Yes. Who is going to bring about the change in the media industry? Who? Who is going to crumple and end pornography? Who is the person? Who will stop those bad cartoons? Who is the person? Let me see you. I am a king. Oh, yes. Let me hear you say, I am not tired. Let's go on. We are soldiers. I'm not a weak boy. I'm not a baby. I'm not a mommy's boy. I'm a boy with a strong and determined spirit. I want to see you at the top. I want to see you make a change. I want to see you become the best. I want to see you rise like the eagle and soar. We are starting today, and we are charging you to wake up and make a difference. You are the best. You will shine the light, and you will make us proud. I love you all, and I want to thank you for listening. We have something else to show you. Don't go, and somebody will come and share his life story that will transform you. Mr. David, I know you are hearing me. Please tell the boys about your story when you come up. A story that will shock you, young boys. Wait again and hear how this man was able to pull through in a strong spirit to break out of that addiction. And it's not a global voice. Mr. David, I know you can hear me. I want to hear your story in this meeting. Boys around the world want to hear from you. Thank you so much for hearing. Happy World Day of the Boy Child. I love you all. Don't go. We have one more thing to do that's going to change you, that's going to transform you. Thank you, boys, and see you soon. I love you. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Prince Israel Otache Achebulu. This journey has started a very long time ago, since 2018. Before I met Coach Ebuka, my life used to be very rough. I had no peace, I was confused, and a lot of conflicts were going on in my life. Back then, 2018, in Living Faith Church, Durumi, we were in for a Wednesday communion service at the youth church. So I excused myself out. I went and smoked some cigarette, and when I returned back, Coach Ebuka approached me, and he spoke a lot of things with me and made me understood a lot. So from that time, this journey has really come a long way. He made me to discover and also to know the mantle God has given me, the work God has given me to do, the mercies from my family, because I come from a royal home. I solemnly depend on me to be broken from a pattern. Glory be to God. I could at a point be able to open up with the kind of person he is, with the kind of love, the affection he showed, despite the fact that we went astray at a point. Even when I was in school, I was a drug addict, I was a smoker, I was hard drugs addict. I was also a fornicator. At the point, the center of my life had no meaning. I kept companies which I was not supposed to keep. I was also involved the confraternity, the Save the Boys initiative. This is an initiative of transformation. Despite my back and front, at a point I wasn't supposed to graduate from school, but glory be to God. I could digress a little into my testimony, to make the whole of these things better. This is a story I want to give to have an impact on the life of the younger ones coming up, which is very important. I want you to really know that there is nothing God cannot do. And when you learn to open up to the right people, God helped me. I had a mentor whom I could confirm in, I could open up to, I could say a lot of things to. He always made me to understand there's no need being shy. I could open up, I could say things to him with the kind of relationships he kept with me. Things my own biological father could not even listen to me. He listened to me, he heard me out. Close to my final year in school, had issues with my dad. There was no peace. He was more of like a father to me. He was the only one I could confide in. He gave me a lot of support, physically, spiritually, and financially too. I tapped into that grace. Glory be to God. I enjoy that grace today. As a result of him not giving up on me, with his prayers, his encouragements, and his support, I can boldly tell you that God has done a lot of work on me today. I can boldly tell you today, to the glory of God, I'm drug free. I'm free from all addictions, free from sexual perversions, all of the addictions. Save the Boys initiative. This is a spiritual arrangement and organization that has been put in place by God to amend the broken ones coming up. So please, I urge you at this point, when you get the opportunities, for this man to give you his listening ears, it's good for you to open up, you speak up, because a lot more is going to be done physically and spiritually, and it's going to help you go a long way. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I told you Coach Ebuka is phenomenal. I told you Coach Ebuka is exceptional and unusual. I am sure you have had a good time. I'm seeing all your comments. I'm seeing all the lessons that you have learned. And I am glad that it is the boys giving us this feedback. One of the things I heard was Coach Ebuka say, you are a product of your choice. So if you're doing something wrong and you think you are doing injustice to your parents, no, you are doing it to yourself, because whatever you will become, the outcome, the reality of your future is determined by the choices you made. Thank you so much, Coach Ebuka. That was amazing. That was on another level. And I'm sure all the boys are pumped. All right. I know you are pumped and you're ready to go on more and more with us. Now, you have heard that impact story. I like the fact that that was the one that was played, because the person that will be coming up next will touch a lot on drugs and drug addiction. This is not something you should joke with. This is not a session you would want to miss. Don't say, oh, I'm 8 years old, I don't need to hear. You need to hear and be equipped with the right information. Coach Ebuka said to us, knowledge makes you outstanding. You don't have knowledge, it will be difficult to stand in the day of darkness. We're going to be bringing up somebody exceptional, amazing, phenomenal, unusual. He's somebody who's going to share his life experiences with us, and he's going to be teaching us how to combat the drug pandemic. To combat is to fight. Coach Ebuka said, kings are not weak. A reformed boy is not a weak boy. Let me tell you, you are going to fight battles as a boy. You are going to fight several battles as a boy. Parents, know it and know peace. Your children of light will face children of darkness. It is normal. So we're going to be hearing this person. I want you to keep your hearts open, keep your mind open, and of course, keep your jotters open and ready to hear. The next thing that will come up is his profile, after which we will be welcoming the one and only David Folarumi. Welcome, sir.
David Folarumi is an economist and a public servant.
but his interest lies in mental health and behavioral changes with emphasis on addiction. He is a trained UNODC educator and has had further trainings with WHO, EU, Colombo Drug Advisory Program in substance use disorder prevention and treatment. David Folarumi is the project director of the Live Free initiative, which is an arm of the David Folarumi Foundation that seeks to prevent substance use among the youth in the society through sensitization, enlightenment, and education. Mr. Folarumi is the executive director of the Live Free Renewal Center, a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center in Enugu State, a recipient of several awards home and abroad for his contribution to the eradication of drug abuse in Nigeria. Mr. Folarumi is a member of the International Society of Substance Use Professionals, Nigerian chapter, Community Intervention Network for Drugs, Nigerian chapter, Association of Advocates Against Alcohol Harm in Nigeria, and he is an ambassador for the drug-free world in Nigeria. Mr. Folarumi is happily married and the union is blessed with a daughter. David Folarumi speaking.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Hello.
Mr. David
Mr.
Folarumi.
David.
Hello,
Is in the
Coach.
house,
How are
sir.
you?
Is he here?
Good to see you. Good
Okay.
to see you, Coach Ruth. Good to see you.
Oh
Good to
my
see
God.
Thank you.
Oh my God, Mr. David, you are welcome. We are super excited to see you. We have
I'm
boys
excited
joining
to
from
see you.
everywhere. We are live on
Praise
YouTube,
God.
on Instagram, on Facebook. We have hundreds and hundreds and
Excellent.
hundreds. Can you hear me?
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
hundreds of boys watching, and we are super excited to
We're
have
excited
you.
to have you, sir. And we are ready for you.
I'll say welcome to Abuja.
Welcome to Abuja, sir.
Congratulations, because David just had a baby
Yeah,
girl.
because David
2
had
days
a
ago,
baby
3 days
girl
ago.
3 days ago.
And you are here for us. Oh my
Thank
God.
you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, you have the
Welcome.
floor, sir, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all our boys who are joining us from Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Warri, the UK, Brazil, Canada. I want to welcome you to the International Boys Conference 2024 with the theme Reformation. I'd like to also wish you a very happy International Day of the Boy Child. I tell you something, you're privileged to be in this conference, and I want you to make the most out of it. What is reformation? Coach Ebuka has taken us on a very, very powerful charge. I was jotting myself on the 5 points he gave of a reformed boy, because that was a powerful charge that resonates with everybody, not just the young boys, but even those of us that are adults. If we can key into those points, then we're sure to live a life of exploits. Now, to me, what is reformation? Before I go into telling you my story, because I know once they say, Coach David is going to tell a story, everybody is waiting for story time. Yes, I'm going to tell you my story, but I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to teach you, to guide you, and to correct you so that you avoid the mistakes that I made and you remain on the path of reformation. What is reformation? Very quickly, reformation is the creation of a new thing. Reformation is the creation of a new thing or a new person. And it doesn't stop at that. That new person has to go out and replicate that reformation. What does that mean? At the end of this conference, it is expected that every single one of the participants will take what he has learned to his or her own communities and replicate or teach other boys to be reformed people. A few weeks ago, I was with Coach Ebuka in Port Harcourt, and I said to him, I said, Coach, very soon you won't be able to be making these journeys you are making today. You're in Lagos tomorrow, and Port Harcourt next tomorrow, you're in UK, you're in US, you're in Canada. You won't be able to do it. So at that time, it is expected that those of you that are on board now will become the new Coach Ebukas, of course, with your various respective names, creating the same impact that he has created in your lives. That is when you are truly a reformed boy. So reformation should not stop at you. Say it with me wherever you are watching. Say, reformation does not stop with me. It goes a long way. There must be a ripple effect. There must be a ripple effect that impacts the lives of those around you. I always tell people, overcoming peer pressure is not enough. You must now pressurize those that are around you positively. It's not enough to say you are avoiding the pressure of sexual immorality, you are avoiding the pressure of exam malpractice, you are avoiding the pressure of drug abuse, you are avoiding the pressure of taking alcohol. You must now pressurize those around you to do the right thing. Then you are a reform boy. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Say with me in your seated position, reformation does not end with me. Reformation does not end with me. It goes way beyond that. You must create that ripple effect across board. You must create that ripple effect across board. Then and then only are you a reform boy. I like the testimony of the young man who just shared just before I came on board. So, coach, please ensure that he sees me before I leave. I want to believe he's in Abuja. So please, I would like to see him on Saturday. There's a lot that young man can do. There's a lot. You think Coach David is doing something? There's a lot embedded in that young man. There are certain experiences that he has had that I might not have. And then he is called to rescue certain people from the pit of addiction. So it's not enough for him to say he is a reformed boy because he met Coach Ebuka. That's just half of it. He now has to spread his tentacles to also rescue those who are languishing in darkness. Then and only then is the reformation complete. Yesterday in the city of Enugu, I went to the it's now called Nigerian Correctional Service. I don't know what they are correcting there, but that's what they call it. It used to be called Nigerian Prison. I went to see a client, somebody who was in our rehab at the time. And then when I got inside, where they were searching us, because they search you to make sure you're not taking in contraband, everything. We took some food for him and things like that. And they were searching us. And I looked at the board where the names of inmates, the number of inmates, and I saw 2,554 male inmates and 69 female inmates. And my heart broke. So in the whole of Enugu prison, we have 2,555 or thereabouts male prisoners and 69 females. What is going on with the boy child? What is happening with the boy child? What is going on? I went in and I spoke to one of the senior officers. I said, what is happening? What are these people in here for? And he started giving me a history of some of the people and why they are there. Young people involved in gun crimes, young people involved in armed robbery, young people involved in sexual molestation and even rape, young people involved in car theft, etc. Some of these people, children of professors, some of these people, children of well-to-do individuals in the society, some of these people, children of pastors. Yes, in the prison I went to yesterday, I saw children of clergymen. So what went wrong along the way? What went wrong along the way? And this is where I will begin my story. Because some people will sit down and say, children of pastors, what are they doing in prison? Okay, I might have not been the child of a pastor, but I was a child of very, very dedicated parents who were dedicated to church. Coach spoke with my mother today, and she's on this platform. She's watching, she's following now. When I was growing up, I grew up in a Christian home, always going to church. That was the norm. When our church started 2 services, we were always there. Morning service and second service. Midweek service, we were there. Women international service, we were there. Anything that was church, we were there. And then I went to Christian primary school, Christian secondary school, Christian university. So what's the difference between me and the child of a pastor? Almost nothing. And then, ironically, it was in this Christian university that I went to that I had my first exposure to drug abuse. The topic I'm taking today is combating the drug pandemic. And I tell you, young boys on this platform today, we do have a drug pandemic. We have seen the age of initiation into drug use drop day in, day out. We have 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds abusing substances now. We have 10-year-olds that they have to think of a special type of rehab to put them in because they are addicted to alcohol. So please do not say that this does not concern you. Because once you leave the confines of your home and you relate with others outside, you will find out that certain people, like Coach Ruth was saying, when you as the child of light go out, they are children of darkness who are not reformed boys that will try to influence you with their negative lifestyle. So I was in school, and while I was on campus, some of us are going into university, some of us are in university already, you will experience these things. That is the truth. While I was on campus, a group of friends met me and said, David, escort us, let's go to the school library. Then they were still building it because I was in the first or second set. So the school was still new. So we went up to the library, we climbed upstairs, and I saw people smoking and drinking. This was new to me. It wasn't something I was used to. And I was worried. Why are people doing this? And they said, David, just try it. But, all of the little that my parents had tried to instill in me, I was able to say no, that I wasn't going to participate. And I went back. I went back to my hostel and I started brooding on it. I started thinking, I started ruminating on it. What is it that these people are doing? When they were taking those drugs, I could see the effects on some of them almost immediately. So I was back in my room and I started thinking, and I couldn't tell anybody. Now, that is the first sign of a boy that is not fully reformed. That is the first sign. Anything, any evil you condone around you, even if you are not participating in it, it shows you are not a reformed boy. You should not condone evil around you. You should not condone wrongdoing around you. Somebody is doing yahoo around you because you are not doing it. You say you're just going to keep quiet. Very soon, that thing you allow to happen around you, you will become a part of it. So I did not talk because I was not a reformed boy. Remember, I said reformation is not complete until you are able to positively influence others. So the influence I had stopped at me. I wasn't able to impact it on the lives of those people who were using. So I stayed there on my bed in my hostel called Peter Hall at the time. And I kept on thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. And this went on for a very long time. Eventually, I finished from university, came for my youth service, and I went to the UK for my master's. While I was in the UK, the same scenario was beginning to play itself again. I found people using substances. In fact, the flat I was staying in, I had 2 Europeans as my flatmates, one from Spain, one from Italy. And then every morning when they are going to class, they say, David, come and join us. And you look at the table and you see all manner of drugs, a whole cocktail of drugs. Now, this was me who was partially reformed, not fully reformed, partially reformed. So I will say these things and then I will say, no, I'm not taking it. And I will go to class. But while I'm walking to the train station, my head will be thinking, this thing that those people are taking is making them look happy. But I couldn't do anything about it because I was not a fully reformed boy. And that's the truth about the matter. I was not fully cooked. I was not fully baked. I was not fully reformed. And so I kept on going through this pressure to engage in these substances. I kept on going through it. I kept on going through it until one day my defense line cracked. And I said, okay, let me just try it. And that was the beginning of 7 years of chronic addiction to several substances for me. Several substances. And then it got so bad that I came back from UK to Nigeria. And then I started using another substance that was even worse. Highly addictive. Highly dependent. I couldn't think anymore. I couldn't function anymore. And everything that I had learned growing up in the church was gradually being erased away. So now I was a full-blown drug addict. My mother had rented me a very beautiful house in Abuja, in Gwarimpa. I remember very well. And then she furnished it tastefully with a nice sofa, nice TV, everything you can think of. And when the addiction came, I started selling these things, trading them for drugs. So today, when I need drugs and I don't have money, I give out the TV. Because prior to this, between July of the year I came back to Nigeria and December, I had spent 3 million naira on drugs. 3 million naira spent on drug use and drug related activities. So I was empty. And then now I started lying to people. So, for instance, if I knew Coach Ebuka at the time, I'll call him and say, Coach, how are you doing? He say, fine. Oh, David, how are you? God bless you. I say, I'm fine. I say, my mother is sick. She has cancer. And then Coach will say, oh my God, David, it is well with you. How can we help? I say, okay, can you borrow me 100,000? Add to her hospital bill. So now imagine a young boy who was raised in church. At the age of 8, I was able to read Bible stories to my peers. At the age of 13, I believe my mother is watching this and she'll bear me witness. During home cell fellowship, if the home cell leader is not around, I will take it and teach the outline as it should be. Now graduated to this person who, because he lacked full reformation is a full cycle, because he lacked full reformation, the creation of that new thing was not complete. I had given into addiction and its attendant evils. I will tell people that my parents were in ghastly motor accidents and I need money for drugs. Not because I wanted to do it, but because I had graduated from the risky behavior of drug use to the disease of addiction. It's a difference. So when you leave drug use and it has become addiction, you are now confirmed a sick person, which is the state I was in. So I had lied to all my friends, both in church, in all of the schools I had gone to, and I had nobody to lie to anymore. So I started selling my property. Sold everything until one day in February of 2012, I asked my landlord to give me back my rent, which he obliged me. He asked me to meet him in a certain bank in Abuja. At that time, transfer wasn't very, very common. I think it was just very on the surface. So I met him there. I signed that I wasn't staying in his house anymore. And he gave me the money, 750,000 naira in my pocket. And then I got out of the bank and I was pacing frantically, trying to make a call to the dealer, the person that supplies me with the drugs. He wasn't picking up. And then somebody that I don't know walked up to me. He obviously heard my conversation. And then he said, it's like you want to buy XYZ. I said, yes, I want to buy it. Do you have? And he said, no, he doesn't have. But he can take me to a place where I can get. And I said, oh my God, you mean there's a place I can go to and I can buy? He said, yes. So prior to this, I didn't know there was anything like that. I was always making calls and they'll bring it to me. So I followed him. And you can see the craziness of addiction. I was following somebody I don't know to a place I don't know. It could have been an armed robber. It could have been a kidnapper. It could have been a ritualist. But I followed him to a place. It's called the Bronx. Right here in Abuja. Right here. I won't tell you people the location so that your curiosity will not make you go and start checking what Mr. David is saying. But Coach Ebuka knows what I'm talking about. So we went there. And then when we got there, the first thing that struck me was the number of people I saw, all looking like they were half dead. You know, they were walking in a very slow and staggering manner, looking sad, looking dejected, looking battered, looking beaten, looking lost. Most of them young people, like I will share before my story is over. Most of them young people, lost. The only thing holding them in that place was the chains of addiction, which was not on their feet, which was not on their wrist, but was in their mind. They were held spellbound. They didn't want to be there because that place is dirty. That place is filthy. There was poo-poo on the floor. There was urine on the floor. There was menstrual towels, used ones on the floor. People were vomiting on the floor. Yet, the stronghold of addiction led me to keep walking, dodging all those dirt and filth, jumping over those ones I needed to jump over. All I was doing was being focused on getting the drugs that I so badly needed. I remember one lady looked at me and she smiled. She said, welcome to your new home. In my mind, I said, this is going to be your own new home. It's not my new home. Little did I know that she knew what she was saying. I was still dressed a bit well. Every other person was wearing rags, wearing almost nothing. When you speak to them, you hear their Queen's English. You hear that these people are educated. These people are not riffraffs. How come they don't have clothes on their body? What happened? You can't marry the way they speak with the way they look. This cannot be the plan that their parents had for them. How did they find themselves in this dungeon? How did they find themselves in this dirty, filthy place wearing rags? We got to the person that was selling the drugs. Guess what? He was the only neatly dressed person there. Why? Because he was the only one not taking it. Boys, listen to me. The day you make the mistake, if you haven't learned anything in this entire conference, look at my face and let it be a stamp on your heart, that the day anybody makes the mistake of experimenting with substances is the day that he starts the beginning of the end of his life. That's the truth. That is the truth. What Coach Ebuka has taken the pains and the sacrifice to bring me down here to tell you all is that prevention is better than cure. That's the summary. I run a treatment facility. I have other treatment facilities that I consult for. I will tell you this for free. People will not tell you this. Treatment hardly works. It hardly works. So don't try and experiment and enter into a problem that you might not come out of. People pay millions of, and the funny thing is that rehabilitation centers now take advantage of parents because you are so overwhelmed, you are willing to do anything. So they tell you bring 1 million naira. In their heart of hearts, I'm telling you this because Coach Ebuka is my brother. It's not what I will say to anybody. But I'm telling you this, in their heart of hearts, they know it will not work. Yet they'll take that money from you. You spend 3 months there. Your parents will suffer to pay the money. You will come out. You will relapse. They'll take you to another rehab. Sometimes they will go and chain the person. I've seen people, they chain to trees because of drug abuse. So why do you want to go into it? Why do you want to start it? Why do you want to cause something that will cause pain? Not just for you, but for your family. I went there. That dealer was the only one well-dressed because he doesn't take it. He that sells it knows that he shouldn't take it. And I started buying. I spent the 750,000 naira in less than 5 days. I didn't have money to go back. Now there was no house. There was no gadget. There was no property. I had sold my car. Had nothing. So I started living in the bunk. And one day I remembered what that girl said. Welcome to your new home. I remembered what that girl said. Welcome to your new home. I will sleep there. Sometimes rain will fall. Rain will fall. It will beat and soak me. I'll be drenched. That's the son of a seasoned banker that spent her life taking care of her children. Sent me to the best schools at home and abroad. I found myself in the bunk, in the pit. I'm sure this story sounds familiar. I'm sure some of you are already thinking of the story of the prodigal son. This is the Nollywood version. Nollywood. This is the Nollywood version of prodigal son. I spent everything. I was spent, had nothing. I was literally eating from the ground. If somebody drinks pure water and I squeezed it, the remaining one, I'll tear the nylon and lick the nylon. Because I was an addict. Because I'd become a drug addict. Why was I a drug addict? Because I was not a fully reformed boy. This lasted for 7 years. I suffered the pain psychologically. I suffered the pain physically. My family disintegrated. My mother always crying. My brothers, everybody, it scattered the entire family. It's not something, I tell people, it's not something I wish on my worst enemy. And that is why today, some people see me flying up and down the place, saying the same story, say no to drug abuse, say no to drug abuse, say no to drug abuse, because I've seen the pain it can cause a person firsthand. While I was in the bunk, I'll tell you 2 stories quickly, and then we'll take it from there. I met a young lady. It's the boys' conference, but I want to talk about this story. She was about 17. Why was she in the bunk? A friend had introduced her to drugs. Found her way to the bunk. Started sleeping around. Got pregnant. Her father disowned her. She came back to live in the bunk and was working as a slave. She gave birth to that child in the bunk. When the drug addiction, the spirits started ravishing her, she sold that baby in exchange for drugs. This happened in Abuja. in 2012. Not a story I was told, a story I witnessed. Story of another boy. Intelligent young boy. We called him Junior. He came back from Birmingham in the UK, where he studied robotics in masters. Very intelligent, highly intelligent. Even we're in the bunk, when he speaks, you wonder that what sort of wisdom does this young man have? But he was bound in chains. Not physical chains that you can see, chains of addiction. And he couldn't walk out of that bunk. We started sleeping in the same, because there's no bed there. For those of you still thinking or imagining that there's bed, you sleep on carton. You can spend ₦1 million there, yet you sleep on carton, not even mat. So he and I were sharing the same place. They used to call us London boys. One day, Junior told me, David, let's go out and hustle so we can make money to buy drugs. I said, no, I'm tired. I can't go out. And Junior went out on his own. And while Junior went out, he didn't come back that day. And I was worried. Where's my friend Junior? The next day I woke up. He has not come back. Where's my friend Junior? On the third day, a young lady walked into the bunk. She looked at me and said, they don't kill your friend now. I said, what do you mean they've killed my friend? She said, I know the Junior be your friend. Nobody will stay here together. I said, yes. She said, he's dead. I said, what happened? She said, he went out to steal, to get money, of course, to buy drugs. He was caught, he was stabbed, he was beaten to death and burned to ashes here in Abuja. Only son of his parents. Highly intelligent. This AI was shouting now. He had a master's in robotics in 2012. That's how intelligent he was. Yet, because there was no reformation, all of that talent, all of that future, all of that glorious destiny went to waste. Tell yourself, I must be reformed. I must be a 360-degree reformed boy. Say it wherever you are. I must be a 360 reformed boy. Hit your chest and say it to yourself, I must be a 360-degree reformed boy. So that's what happened to Junior. At the end of the day, I lost 4 friends to addiction. Drug abuse ends all of your dreams. Nothing good about it. Drug abuse destroys lives. Drug abuse destroys destinies. So this suffering and pain continued. I got arrested by the police several times. In Abuja here, they've known me in most of the police stations. NDLEA, 2 months or so ago, I was invited by NDLEA in Abuja to come and speak to the people in rehab. And then the man that arrested me in 2014 was there, a Muslim. He saw me and started crying. You know what he said? He said when he arrested me in 2014, he had given up on me, that my life was finished. Of course, he couldn't tell my mother that. But when he saw the rate of the addiction and the drug use I had gotten into, he had written me off and said, this one is a lost cause. He saw me 2 months ago and he was crying. He said, there's nothing indeed that God cannot do. And then I started speaking to those people who were there. And I said, look, yes, you have made this mistake. But let me tell you something. Life is about how you handle plan B. I'm going to be talking to people who may have dabbled into drug use while I'm closing. It's not the end of the world. But there's a lot of work to be done to come out of it. To regain your mandate of reformation, there's a lot of work to be done. It's not child's play. It's not something that Coach Ebuka is going to do for you. And when I mean Coach, I mean anybody, not even me. You have to own your recovery and claim that mandate of reformation and then join the train of impacting others positively. So like I said, this lasted for about 7 years. At some point, I went to Ibadan. My parents shipped me off to Ibadan. I had given out everything, including my international passport. So I couldn't even leave the country at that time. So they shipped me off to Ibadan to stay in our pastor's house. One day I went out and then I saw somebody selling drugs and I joined again and I continued from there. That's how they didn't see me for about 3 months. So thereabouts. And then in November of 2015, I had a drug-induced accident and I broke my leg. It took me to 3 hospitals and they said they were going to amputate the leg. But God, in his infinite mercies, who knew that he was preserving me for such a time as this, used somebody that I didn't know to to say no, they were not going to amputate the leg. From Ibadan, I was moved to Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital in Ife, where the surgery was done. I had metals in my leg. My leg was hung for a few months before I was discharged. Now, my brothers in the house tonight, you will think that that is enough to teach me a lesson, right? That wasn't. The addiction was still there. That stronghold, that satanic stronghold of addiction was still there. And one day I found myself back in the bunk in Abuja. After spending all the money I had, one of the dealers asked me for my crutches. Even though the doctor had warned me that I should make sure I don't put any pressure on my right leg because it was still in a cast, I gave out my crutches in exchange for drugs. And I started hopping on my left leg until I eventually collapsed. Like I said, this all happened in a space of 7 years. I went through hell. I went through what I would not wish on. If I had a worst enemy, I would not wish it on that person. What my parents went through, what my family members went through, I would not wish it on anybody else. So how much more my precious, beloved boys who are celebrating the International Day of the Boy Child today. I want to thank Coach Ebuka because it's not easy. It's a sacrifice. It is a sacrifice that he brought me down so that even on Saturday, we can have one-on-one sessions if you want to ask any questions. It's a sacrifice he's making. So please make the most of it. Make the most of this conference. There are catch-up moments that you should not miss. There are times, I told you when he was talking, I was jotting. Some of you might not have your notebooks, then you shouldn't be here. Make the most of it. After 7 years of chronic drug use, God delivered me. It was so bad that I had made up my mind that I cannot come out of it. And so I attempted suicide. I was rushed to Federal Medical Center, Jabi, Abuja, in August of 2017. August 17, 2017, to be precise. So if you want to verify, go and verify. The consultant on call that day was called Dr. Amarachi. Even though before I got there, I had passed out. While we were in the car, my mom, you know how African mothers can be dramatic. She was slapping me so that I can wake up. And then they placed the call to one of my pastor, and he kept on declaring, David, you shall not die, but live to declare God's word in the land of the living. That was the last thing I heard, and I passed out. I just went off. And then one day, while I was in the hospital, still, dazed and everything, they had tried to flush my system. They put some things in me to throw up and all of that. I heard in my spirit, a new spirit would I give unto you. I will take away the heart of stone and put in you the heart of flesh. There and then I knew my turnaround had come. I knew my turnaround had come. I woke up, I knew that I was free from drug use and I was going to make an impact in my world. Now, the reformation was not complete until I started going out to speak to others about the dangers of drug use, which is why I said reformation is only complete when there is a ripple effect from you, positively impacting others in your space. And that's what I've been doing for the past 6 or 7 years to the glory of God. Now, I said I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to tell you a life lesson for you to draw inspiration from and knowledge. Please and please, do not, capital letter, do not attempt. Don't let your curiosity get the better part of you. Do not attempt to use substances. Very quickly before I close, how do we prevent substance use as a reform boy? How do we avoid substance use as a reform boy? Number one, we must engage self-discipline. Coach Ebuka mentioned self-discipline when he was speaking, and then that is a prerequisite for reformation. 2 years ago, when I was privileged to speak on this platform, I spoke on self-discipline. It is still what I speak about till today. Self-discipline as a reform boy is doing what is commanded of you by God, by your parents, by your teachers, by your coaches, not what is convenient for you. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. Don't you know that we all run this race, but it is only one that wins? Therefore, run that ye as a reform boy may obtain the prize. Many people come to my office. Even today, coach, this place that you have kept me, you ask your people, I've had meeting. They have come to meet me with the boys. Drug, alcohol, this one, that one. And when I look at the cases, some of them are not, they're just cases of lack of discipline. Lack of discipline. Some of us were asking how long this program is. If you were sitting in front of Tinubu or you were waiting for him to come from his meeting, can you stand up? You can't stand up, even if he doesn't come for 5 hours. That is discipline. We have to be disciplined. 2 years ago, I asked the participants at the program, I said, how many of you even make your own bed in the morning? And that is why everybody needs to go for the camp, the boys' camp. I see the way my brother is helping parents to do their work. And then some parents are still complaining. Some of us can't make our bed. That is the basis for self-discipline. Let's go on. My time is almost up. Number 2, identify purpose. Live a purpose-driven life. Coach Ebuka talked about vision. Vision and purpose are closely related because vision is the gradual unveiling of God's purpose for your life. Now, if you don't have purpose in life, you wake up not doing anything. And that is when somebody can tell you, let us go and smoke or let us go and buy drug. You must live a purpose-driven life. You must wake up to something. Something must be driving you. Can anybody now come and tell Coach Ebuka to come and do something that is not in his agenda for the day? He has woken up. He probably has a schedule that he must follow. So there's no space in between for somebody to come and say, Coach, let's go and do something that he doesn't do. Live a purpose-driven life. Luke chapter 2, verse 49. Jesus was a young boy. When his parents were looking for him all over the place, they found him in the temple. What did he say? Don't you know I should be about doing my father's business? That young man, Jesus, knew his purpose at that age. Yet some of us are 17, 18, 19. We have no purpose. No, we don't know where we are going. A wise man once said, once a person doesn't know his purpose, that person will be distracted by what seems like pleasure. You don't wake up to something that is driving you. That is when cigar or alcohol or Igbo, Canadian loud, that is when that will drive you. Because there's nothing you're waking up to. Number 3, engage in effective communication and assertiveness. Some of us don't want to take the drugs, but we don't know how to say it. We don't know. We don't want it. Yes, in our hearts, we agree we don't want it. But to communicate it to others. So when they give you, you are smiling. Coach said we should not take it. Mr. David said we should not take it. Now, it has to come from you. The person that is offering you is a predator. He sees you as a prey that he wants to eat and ravish. You must be bold and say no. Look him in the eye, eyeball to eyeball. No, I will not take it. And whatever wants to happen should happen. I will not take it. Please, boys, don't ever say Coach Ebuka said I should not take drugs. Don't ever say my mommy said I should not take drugs. Once you do that, the predator has seen you as a weak prey and they will pounce on you. Daniel chapter 3, verse 18. The story of the 3 Hebrew boys. One of my favorite stories in the Bible. They had pressured them into bowing down before the golden image. And when they asked them, what did they say? Oh, king, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. We are not going to bow down before your golden image. Whatever wants to happen should happen. Those are reform boys. Their reformation is complete, 360 degrees. We will not do it. God forbid, God forbid, God forbid. You see Coach Ebuka in your dream telling you to take drug. When you wake up, bind him and cast him because he's not the one. He's not the one. So what I'm trying to say is, irrespective of who it is, as a reform boy, you say no. You beat your chest and say what wants to happen should happen. I'm not going to take it. I've had experiences like that, but I can't go into those stories because of my time. Number 4, watch the company you keep. Proverbs 13:20, he that walks with the wise shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Guess what? If I was with Junior the day he went to steal, a companion of fools shall be destroyed. I wouldn't have been here to tell you this story today. A companion of fools shall be destroyed. If I had joined them in smoking on the library that day, maybe I'll have jumped from the library and I'll have died. A companion of fools shall be destroyed. Watch the company you keep. Don't let people pick you as friends. A reformed boy knows his values, knows his standards, and he picks people who are his friends that align with his standards and his values. Watch the company you keep. Most of the people, 90% of the people that come to my office on the issue of drug use, they tell me that it is somebody that introduced them. They don't just go up and go and buy Canadian Loud. They just go up and buy Igbo. Somebody that is a friend introduced them to it. Who are your friends? Who are your friends? Last year I spoke on creating positive relationships. Who are your friends? Coach Ebuka is enough to be your friend. You can't find enough friend. Let him be your friend. It's enough for now. While you are looking for other friends that are aligned with your values, cut them off. If you don't pick anything today, if your friends are not adding any value today, after this meeting, cut them off. You have 4 foolish friends. You didn't count well. You are the 5th. And finally, number 5, remain prayerful. Remain prayerful. Remain prayerful. Do not ever relegate the place of prayer. Matthew chapter 6 verse 13. Oh Lord, lead me not into temptation. There are a lot of temptations out there. There are times you might want to reach Coach Ebuka. Not that he doesn't want to pick, but he's probably attending to somebody. So not that he doesn't want to pick. Even me, sometimes I don't call him, I call Coach Ruth. It's easier for me to reach her, and then we gist and talk, and then she'll deliver the message to him. So sometimes you might not be able to reach him. So what I'm saying is there are temptations out there that you might not even be able to handle. So pray to God to even keep you away from them. Keep you away from bad people that have negative influences of drug use. Do not relegate the place of prayer. Please, coach, 5 minutes, I'll be out. 5 minutes, I promise you I'll be out. Now, for those precious souls who are in this meeting, who may be struggling with an addiction, because there's no prevention treatment. There's no prevention program or course without us talking about how we can come out of it. Because we have hundreds of people here. I'll be deceiving myself if I say there are people here who might have not tried it. Now, very quickly, I'll run through 5 points we can use to come out of drug use. Number 1, first of all, admit that you have a challenge. How do we come out of drug use? Number 1, admit that you have a challenge. Sin and addiction thrive in secrecy. When you cover it up, it remains. And it just doesn't remain, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. And you think you're fine. You know why people struggle with masturbation for so long? Because they keep hiding it. And because there's no obvious repercussion on the outer body, that's why you now find people that they'll tell you they've been masturbating for 25, 30 years. Because they are hiding it. They don't cry out for help. So please admit that you have a challenge. Stop being in denial. Number 2, make up your mind to come out of it. Make up your mind. If you are on this program today and you are struggling with an addiction, make up your mind that I'll come out of it. Daniel chapter 1 verse 8. And Daniel purposed in his heart that he will not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat or the wine with which they served. There's a place for making up your mind. Nobody can do it for you. Your mother, as much as she loves you, can't. See, look, that is the part you have to play. Anybody that comes to me, any parents, the first question I ask, does the person want to come out of it? So that you don't waste my time. I'm not a magician. I can't bring you out of addiction if you are not ready to come out of it. No. There's no drug in the world, medicine, that they give you and you stop having addiction problems. No. The individual plays the biggest role. You make up your mind. Daniel was a captive in a strange land. He said he purposed in his heart. He will not defile himself of the kingdoms. It is time you purpose in your heart that you will not smoke again. It's time you purpose in your heart you will not drink again. It's time you purpose in your heart that you will not commit adultery. You will not masturbate again. It's time you purpose in your heart that you will defeat this addiction. Only then can you now come to us. Then we now help you with the steps to come out of it. But you must make up your mind to come out of it. Number 3, which is closely related, seek professional help. It's maybe 1 or 2% of people who struggle with addiction come out of it on their own. Please cry out to get out. Don't keep mute. It's closely related to number 1 about admitting you have a problem. Seek professional help. Seek professional help medically, because you might need to go through detox. You might need to go through several rehabilitation processes. Seek professional help spiritually. Seek professional help from relevant coaches. These are ways you can come out of it. Practical ways you can come out of it. Number 4, replace negative behaviors with positive ones. Now, let me tell you a bit of the science of addiction. I have 2 more minutes. When you take a substance, it releases dopamine in your brain. Now, what dopamine does is the reward system, the way God created us. It makes us happy. It's the pleasurable chemical. There's 4 of them: serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, and one other one. So dopamine is what makes you happy when you do something. So when you take substances, alcohol, drugs, or whatever, it releases dopamine. The more you take it, the more dopamine comes out. So the thing is, you're not addicted to the drug, you are addicted to the release of that dopamine. So what you do now is try and replace that negative behavior of using substances with something that will also create dopamine, the release of dopamine in your brain, which will equally make you happy. Shikina. So there are several of them. Read books, sing, play sports, go to the gym. Some of these things are ways you can replace these bad habits. And finally, before I go, create boundaries. Create boundaries. People of God, there are places that if you want to come out of drug use that you cannot go to again. I used to tell people that nobody likes Manchester United more than me. When I was in the UK, I'll go from London to Manchester to watch match. When I came back, I'll go to beer parlor to watch match. But when I came out, in being a reform boy, I said I can't go to beer parlor again to watch match, even though I knew I wouldn't drink. But because that was a boundary I had to create. There are places you can't go to anymore. If you want to come out, I'm telling you the gospel truth. There are people you can't talk to anymore. There are movies you can't watch anymore. There are types of music. Coach Ebuka talked about secular music. I know some of you will just be looking. There are sort of music that you can't listen to anymore. They will trigger you to relapse. You must cut those things off. What you will not eat, what you will not taste, do not smell. That's an adage my father told me. What you will not eat, do not smell. So don't say that you go to a place where they are using drugs because you want to be with your friend, but you don't plan to use the drugs. You would eventually fall prey into it. Thank you very much, Coach Ebuka. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you to the amazing boys from all over the world that have joined us. I had a great time and I look forward to seeing you all on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Thank you so much,
Oh my God.
Mr. David. Thank you. This
Ah.
is mind blowing.
Jesus.
I honestly don't know how we would
I
describe
don't
tonight.
know how I'm
but
feeling. Having goosebumps. It's as if I'm in a deep revelation. I can't even explain how I'm feeling. I don't know what God did in your life, but it's just beyond description. It's just beyond description. And I'm happy that millions of boys are hearing this all over the world, and these testimonies are making these people to become what God wants them to be. And you can't be a young man here hearing this thing and still go back and be. Oh my God! Thank you so much, Mr. David.
Thank you.
Good truth, I'm sure. I've lost
Thank
some
you, sir.
words, really. A lot of lessons.
Thank you so much. Seeing the statistical gap
What?
with the inmates in prison,
Yeah.
male and female, I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Disturbing. Is disturbing. Is disturbing. And keep asking yourself, what is the future? What is the hope of tomorrow? So when we are in the chat room and some boys will be disturbing, it's like I'm like, God, can God give you understanding? Should I open your brain or your eyes to understand what is going on? That we're in a deep crisis that we need to come out of. What is the hope of families? These young men in this will still come out and marry tomorrow. What is the hope of our security tomorrow with this? What is the hope? There's a lot of work to be done. So, young man, you are here not by chance. You are here. God ordained your path to be here tonight to hear these things. Look at the number. It's alarming. It's sad. Several lessons I'm even learning for myself.
It's alarming.
My children. Thank you so much for being a great blessing.
I like the part where Mr. David talked about the 360 degrees reformed boy.
Hmm.
I think that makes it a complete picture
Yeah.
on my mind.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you have been reformed, you have received help, you don't bring that help to other people.
Hmm.
You can
Yeah.
actually relapse again.
Very true.
You can
Yeah,
actually be
true.
drawn again.
Very true.
If you are
True.
not the influence in the room,
Hmm.
then there's a problem.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you
Yeah.
have been influenced,
Hmm.
you have been changed, and you don't become the influence in the room. You know, Mr. David, it's so unfortunate that a lot of boys with the right identity shy away from being the influence.
Yeah.
I don't know why we are hiding.
Yeah.
I don't know why we are
Hmm.
careful about, oh, this is
Hmm.
who I am. I don't
Hmm.
want anybody to touch
Just
me.
in that corner.
And that's why I say to parents,
Hmm.
you say this to your children. If they don't stand and face darkness, then your work is incomplete.
Very true.
It's half
Because the true test of the work we have done is that our children are in contact with darkness, yet they don't bow.
Hmm.
Until we get to that point, I think there's still a lot of work to
A
do.
lot of work.
Every boy here, you must make a decision. I must be the strongest influence in my class.
Hmm.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
pull them. I will
Yes.
draw them. I will change them. If you don't work with this mentality, trust me, without you knowing, you will be influenced and you will fall.
Hmm.
So carry a mentality that I am an influencer, I am a change maker, and I will make that change regardless of where I find myself.
Regardless.
Thank you so much, sir. The 360 degrees
I'm
reform boy
telling
is stuck with me.
you.
It really,
I'm
really stuck with me.
telling
Thank you.
you so much to learn from what you say. And I'm speaking for boys that are struggling. He say, cry out to get out.
Yeah.
There is hope. You've heard the story. We have Prince. Prince is around and he will see you on Saturday. The
Yeah.
boy that shared the story.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
was sharing to what the church on the Wednesday service. You know, I was in church and I had a burden to speak to him, and I was struggling, Coach David. So he went out. So I was so bored. Hey, God, this boy, I've gone out to. I mean, the Holy Spirit told me he will be back. You know, it was Holy Spirit that told me that he went out to smoke. I'm telling you,
Wow.
he's coming. He went out. So immediately he came back. I confronted him. He didn't want to listen, but I told him what he went to do, and he was shocked. And the journey started from cultism to drugs, all manner. It was a messed up situation, and we saw him went through a journey of transformation. Today is a graduate, and he just finished serving, and he's working, and it's
Praise
part of
God.
our volunteer. You will see him on Saturday. I'm
Praise
telling
God.
everybody they are struggling. There's hope for you.
There is.
Yes.
You heard miracle story. The first boy that shared the story, suicidal. He's seated here before me. He's part of our media team. Transformed. There's hope for you.
There
There's
is.
hope. There's hope.
There is.
There are communities you can join. There are places
Yeah.
you can join to learn and build.
Yes, sir.
And we see you transform. That's why we're here, Reformation.
Yes.
I say, I can't wait for you to, to speak again on Saturday
In
on
fact.
this, in the physical. Because we're having the people joining on Saturday are not people online. We have over 2,500 boys that will be joining on live in the physical event. Oh, about 60 schools will be there on Saturday. It's going to be mind-blowing. And I see life transform. Thank you for choosing to come to Abuja just 3 days after you had a baby girl. We don't take this for granted. Thank you so much.
much, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
We'll let you go and rest and
God
prepare
bless
for
you.
Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you,
bless
coach.
Thank you.
We
We
love,
love you so
you. We
much.
appreciate
Love
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
very
I will
much.
see you on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Our boys, please
What
don't
a
remain
day.
in
What a
silence.
day. What
If
a
you need
day.
to talk with Coach David, he'll be around live on
on
Saturday.
Saturday.
Bring all your questions. Bring it on. Ask your questions on
Coach David need to
Saturday.
divide himself into 10 on
In
Saturday.
fact, Coach David, the Lord will help you. You will just replicate yourself in 10 people for Saturday,
Oh
because
my
even
goodness.
me, I have questions that I want
So
to
we're
ask.
back again tomorrow with
Tomorrow we're
another
here again.
mind-blowing. Those sessions will blow your mind. And guess what? The founder of What Day of the Boy Child, Mr. Jerome, will be joining us.
Joining us
The person
tomorrow.
that started this will be joining us tomorrow. All right. And it's going to be mind blowing. You're going to hear Amazing speakers. Coach Roots is there. Oh, Mr.
Yours
Benga.
is here.
Oh my God. Coach Ocholi will be there. It's going to be mind blowing. And don't forget, there's 6 p.m. West African time tomorrow. We are back again. But by 2 p.m. tomorrow, tell all mommies and daddies, tell your daddies, it's a parent session tomorrow, 2 p.m. Depending on where you are joining us from, it might be evening, morning, night for you, depending on your time zone, especially those in US, Canada, Australia, and other countries. Please tell your fathers this night and mommies. Coach Wendy, the foremost world parenting coach, will be here.
Yeah.
2 p.m. West Africa. Tell mommies, and that is your gift for this word of the boy child. They must be in that session. I want to see over 1,000 parents. Parents here, share with every parent group you know. They must be here tomorrow by 2 p.m. West African time. I'm going to have a great time. Don't miss it. Boys, go to school tomorrow. Tell your friends to join. Tell everybody your school. Tell your teachers. Tell your principal. Tell your head of school to inform all the boys to join us tomorrow evening and then on Saturday again for the grand finale. What a night. What a day.
Thank you, all our boys. Thank you for joining us. So we'll let you go now so that you can rest. Those of you that are asking, when are we closing? When are we closing? Reformation is not for the weak, but we are closing right now. Thank you so much. And once again, we're saying to all the boys all over the world, in America, Nigeria, Uganda, Canada, Australia, Asia, China, everywhere, we are saying Happy International Day of the Boy Child.
We love you.
Congratulations. Do something with the lessons that you have learned.
I have to close the chat room so that you can concentrate.
So you concentrate.
All right. I don't know. Some people may have questions, but we'll take all the questions tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll take your questions tomorrow.
All right.
Please.
We love you. Thank you for joining, and see everyone tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. Please, parents, make sure you subscribe to our handle, our YouTube, and all our social media handles, our Save the Boys Initiative, Boys Leadership Academy. Follow us. You want your son to learn beyond here. Follow Boys Leadership Academy, is our training institute for boys. We'll share all of those details again tomorrow. Ebuka _Boys Coach on IG. If you're not following us, go and follow Ebuka Boys Coach. Follow us and see all the work, the training, the camps we are doing for boys all over the world, and be a part of it. Thank you and have a blessed time. Bye.